Zweig Group invites all AEC industry leaders to the 2024 AEC Small Business and Entrepreneurship Forum, the premier event for small firms in the AEC sector. Experience innovative strategies and insights on May 21st, crafted by Zweig Group's industry experts. Engage in keynotes and interactive sessions focused on recruitment, retention, and business growth. Join Zweig Group for this unique networking opportunity and take your business to new heights. Secure your spot today and be part of the AEC industry's future. Visit zweiggroup.com for more information. The Zweig Group team looks forward to welcoming you.
Welcome to the Zweig Letter Podcast, putting architectural, engineering, planning, and environmental consulting guru Mark Zweig's straight talk in your ear. Mark has more than 30 years of experience helping AEP and environmental firms thrive. And these podcasts help deliver his invaluable management, industry, client, and HR advice directly to you, free of charge. The Zweig Letter Podcasts let you develop professionally, wherever you are.
Hey folks, this is Randy Wilburn here with another episode of the Zweig Letter Podcast. Today, yes, that's right, folks. Today, I have convinced Mark Zweig to come back and join us. He's been away for a while and, been busy and working on a number of things. I mean, Mark Zweig is a master of many things. And so it's always an honor when we can get him into the studio, even if just for a few minutes to spend some time with us. And so today we have a special episode on tap for you to talk a little bit about history. And I think that, outside of the funny faces that he's making to me right now as I record this, I think you guys will have a real interest in what we have to share. And it's also a prelude to something that we're working on in the R&D area of Zweig Group. So I think it's something that everyone will have an interest in, and especially those of you that aspire to hire and keep the best talent out there. We're going to talk a little bit about AEC Workforce. And Mark, I know that back in the day, you had a chance to put together a job board of sorts that really, in your minds, was a precursor to what we're working on today. And I was just hoping if you could just kind of talk a little bit about it and talk about this industry as a whole when it comes to posting jobs and sharing data with regard to that, because it's so interesting. I mean, firms nowadays struggle with a couple of things outside of just obviously hiring and keeping great talent. It's also making sure that they're staying above board with their costs, and especially in the area of salaries, making sure that they're competitive with the peer firms that are out there, because when they're not, that's generally when they tend to lose people. And so why don't you just kind of, first of all, it's great to have you back on the podcast, which is actually has your name in it. But it's a privilege to have you here today. But why don't you talk a little bit about the history of AEC Workforce and just kind of just share your thoughts on that.
Well, I appreciate being here. Every time you get interviewed by you, Randy, it's an experience that's second to none. You get the royal treatment.
Right, right.
No, AEC Workforce. I mean, I think, the concept was really born out of a need for a specialized job board for the AE industry, because anyone who has advertised a job opening or position opening on an online job board, a position in an AE firm, knows that by far and away, the majority of people that you get applying have absolutely nothing to do with our industry. Yeah. And that's very annoying, and it wastes your time, and you just have to filter through. If you're lucky enough to have a volume of candidates, the candidates are, the preponderance of them aren't even remotely qualified. I mean, they're engineers who worked in manufacturing, or they're engineers who worked in aerospace, or engineers who worked in other unrelated fields, in the military or in industry or academia or whatever. But typically you don't get the responses from people who are actually out there in AE and environmental firms doing the kind of work that firms in this business do. And so that was really why we created it. We knew we had a good list. We had a good list of people that we could send this product to, send advertisements to get them to our site and drive traffic there. We had a distribution channel. We still do. For the AE industry, we can reach the owners and managers. So we have, we could get advertisers and have jobs there for people who are interested or open to making a change that they could look at. At the same time, we could reach the individuals, who would be the potential hires for most of the positions that were open. And so that's our idea is to relaunch that. It's phase one, as you are well aware, of a multi-pronged campaign to develop a basically the number one employment resource for the AE industry.
Right.
And this is the start, is to revitalize AEC Workforce. So advertisers in need of people have a place they can go. And potential job candidates can find jobs that they're qualified to fill.
Yeah. So even if we go in the Wayback Machine and go back to when the first iteration of AEC Workforce, which was the Job Mart, even then there was a lot of interest in that, right? For the very reason that you just stated earlier.
Yeah, that was at another company that goes back 30 years.
Right. Right.
And we were very successful right from the get-go.
Yeah.
With basically what was a simple newspaper of sorts that had job openings for AE firms all over the country.
Okay.
And then we'd send that out to a massive list. And it was a pretty cool idea, and it got traction right away. I think today there are lots of other sources that, back then, basically your advertising options were pretty much limited to newspapers.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to run a nationwide search, you had to run ads in all the major city newspapers. So we were kind of unusual. Or you could run an ad in the back of ENR where you might get lost. It was all very expensive, though. All employment advertising was very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So today we have all these online sources that are out there, and some of those are, companies worth billions and billions of dollars. But the bottom line is that the AE industry is not an industry that they focus on.
Yeah.
So the job seekers aren't there. They don't think that's the place to go. And the advertisers, get frustrated with a lack of response. And, according to the people we talk to, it's either a complete lack of response or it's response from people who just aren't even remotely qualified.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, just listening to, what you're saying, it's amazing how even in a 30-year period that things have not changed that much. And it's still a challenge to this day, because it's not like if I have a successful design firm that I can just easily go on to ZipRecruiter or Monster or Indeed and, pretty much.
Indeed, you can't.
Indeed, you can't. Right. And pretty much I'm taking a buckshot approach when I'm trying to reach people. It's kind of more of that be everywhere concept, as opposed to putting your money into a vehicle where you're going to reach the kind of people that you would be even remotely interested in hiring.
Yeah, exactly. It's the rifle shot, as they say.
Yeah. So
it's just, the situation today is the talent is so hard to find. It's just amazingly difficult. You go back 30 years ago, it was still hard to find people who could do more than just their design or technical tasks.
Yeah.
But it was a lot different situation. Job wise, there were probably more people out there who are looking for a job than there are today. So you really have to use a rifle if you're going to find anybody today to speak with about your opening, who's qualified. And of course, that's the caveat. But we think there's no reason why we should be getting responses from outside the AE industry based on our distribution channel and our position in this market.
Right.
It's just, those people won't find us, and the people who do know anything about the AE business or who are in it, they will find us.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you obviously you're still out there, consulting on a regular basis. And so you see that the talent need now, even more so than ever before, is extremely important. I mean, it's something that's a major issue.
They say it's the number one issue, according to our principal survey of owners and managers, the number one problem area.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a big deal. And people are spending money on it, and they're not getting results.
Yeah. They're
spending money on recruiters who aren't able to produce, and they're spending money on all these online ad sources that they're not getting results from. So, they're spending money. They're not getting results. Talent is short. You got to do everything you can to find these people.
Yeah. So, and not that AEC Workforce would be an end all be all, but certainly it would be a step in the right direction. From a talent acquisition standpoint.
Well, at least, like I say, you're not going to be reaching the people who come from outside the AE industry.
Yeah.
There's just no reason they'd be there. I guess maybe somebody who wants to get into the AE business could conceivably be there.
Yeah.
But I think it's the opposite of what you'd find if you went on Monster or one of these other sources. You probably got like 2% of the people that are in there are from AE firms, and 98% are from something else. And so I think we're going to be the opposite. We should be 98% from AE firms and 2% from somewhere else.
Yeah. So even the few that you end up seeing that aren't a fit, it won't be so offensive, because most of what you do see is actually pretty good. So
I hope so.
I think that's the key point.
That's what we found the last time we did this thing. And it was a little different concept, less online oriented,
Yeah.
But today, I think it's there's a real opportunity out there to fill this critical need.
Absolutely. So, well, tell me, I mean, what tips would you have out there for firms that are really struggling in this area in general, from a talent acquisition standpoint? Since I can, since you're kind of like I call you my Yoda of executive search, because you've been doing it for so long. You've seen it in all of its iterations. And as you look at it now, with the years of experience that you have, I mean, what are you seeing that maybe some other people aren't seeing or missing?
I think that there's just too many people out there who still think their job is to keep bad people out. That seems to be like the number one problem.
Katie, bar the door.
Instead of get good people in.
Right.
They got to be selling. These employers have got to sell. They've got to have something different. We were at a meeting a couple of weeks ago at a client, and we were talking about strategic planning and their inability to get people. And I said, what if we just gave every single new employee at a professional level a company car? Well, that'd just be unheard of. Well, now let's think about it for a minute. Our average salary we're paying is somewhere between 80 and 90 grand a year.
Right.
There are plenty of lease cars we could get for $300 a month. Can you imagine and we could have all these rolling billboards out there, all painted the same color, all with the company logo on them. Incredible branding opportunity with working visibility everywhere. It's got a marketing benefit, and everybody gets a new car. I mean, can you imagine hiring people? Like, you come to work here, you get a new car. You go to work somewhere else, you don't.
Yeah.
And they were like, that actually makes sense. We have got to get more creative. And it's spending money. I'm sorry, but hey, you're not going to be able to solve all your problems by not spending money. You think about $300 a month versus somebody who makes $7,000 a month. That's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got to do things differently. I think these companies have got to sell, and they don't understand that. They've got people out there who are grilling candidates on, why do you want to make a change? Why do you want to work here? Well, they don't know why they want to work there. You haven't told them any reason to want to work there yet. And, the work environments are boring. They're going to put all the peons out in the cubes, and all the executive types will have all their perimeter offices. There's no real excitement happening there. Well, we have a Christmas party every year, and we give you a Christmas turkey. Okay, well, that's great, but that's not too exciting.
No.
No. There's no real purpose for the company. What's your purpose? We want to make a 10% profit this year. Woo! Okay, great. I mean, they just don't have when you really come right down to it, they just don't have anything special at all
Yeah.
to offer in terms of work environment, sense of purpose, projects, benefits, anything. So I'd be trying, if it was me, my advice is you better start thinking differently, or you're not going to find it's very easy to hire people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good options out there. We even have former Zweig White employees who work for Facebook and Amazon today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those companies are different.
And they're paying them a lot of money.
They make a lot of money. Yeah. They got exciting work environments.
Yeah.
They got stock options.
Get to travel the world. They do a lot.
Yeah, it's just, you got to realize that's who you're competing against for the best and brightest talent, really, in a way, even though those may not be other AE firms. You really got to step up.
Yeah.
I think realize it's like a war out there.
Yeah. It's gotta be, I think to me, it's an issue because, when you look at, I think a lot of firms may think that, well, someone, so-and-so went to school for 4 years or 5 years in the case of an architectural degree, they're not going to go throw that away and go do something else. But the reality is that some people are doing that.
Yeah.
And it's happening. And that just means that the pool of resources is just getting smaller and smaller. Yeah. So
we're not just competing with other AE firms for the talent anymore.
Right. Which is why you have to kind of step out of your comfort zone and maybe do some things that you never thought you could do. Do you think that in some instances with some firms where they say they can't do it, the reality is that they probably could, but there usually are owners that are wanting to keep too much money on the table? Or take money off the table, if you will.
Well, it's not always the greedy owners that are driving it. There's some of those out there,
right?
But I think more than anything else, it's fear of somehow alienating the people in their firms who don't get these things or who don't get that money or whatever. So there's a lot of fear of. There's a lot of we don't think we have the right people, but we don't want to alienate anybody that we have. So we can't do anything differently.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
You're never going to get where you want to go if that, has to guide every decision. Or we haven't done this before, or I've never seen another firm that did that exact thing. So how can we do that thing? They're so risk averse, that's becomes a part of the problem too.
Yeah. And not that I want to pick a fight. Do you think engineers tend to be more risk averse than architects, or?
I don't know. I you hate to generalize.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think so, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. If I were to generalize, I think that, I think the biggest, I was just talking, I went out to dinner with a friend of mine last night. He was the former dean of the College of Business here, and he has a son who's an architect. And, we were just talking about some of his son's employment experiences. Mm-hmm. And in one case, he worked for a guy who had an enormous ego. And, this guy wouldn't let him do anything and would literally put the guy down publicly. And I know the son, he's a tremendous talent and a super nice guy, by the way. And, I think if anything, that's a problem, in some firms is this sort of so egocentric, the owner, that they can't let anybody else do anything.
Right.
Even if they have a talent and they're threatened by anybody who's good. And that's really a problem. I probably see that more on the design side than I do the technical side, frankly.
Okay.
If you want to generalize, but certainly, there's plenty of, architecture firms that are good places to work and engineering firms that are bad places to work and vice versa.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, obviously, I don't think this problem is going away anytime soon because I think it's beyond relevant, and there is no one tool or resource that's going to change anything. Sounds like, in addition to what AEC Workforce will offer, firms really just have to kind of be creative in their thought in terms of how they approach their current employees, right? Because I think a lot of times they miss out on opportunities to even just get the people that you currently have under your charge excited, because if you get them excited, I think one of the statistics for the recruitment and retention 2017 book said that 59% of people that found jobs were found through employee referrals.
Sure.
And I know you're not a big fan of employee like referral bonuses, but the bottom line is that, people that if you like something, you're going to tell somebody about it.
Yeah, that's why I don't think you need those bonuses, because I think if your employees are happy, they're naturally going to want to recruit their friends.
Yeah, and let them know about it.
And the downside of those bonuses is if you don't hire the candidates supplied by your employee, they then think you're trying to screw them.
Right.
Out of the $1,500 you were going to pay them or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, the network of other employees is how most companies fill the majority of their jobs.
Yeah. It's huge.
It's true. And they got to feel good about it, or they're not going to be out there encouraging their friends to want to be there.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I think there's even programs out there now like teamable.com and other programs that allow firms to leverage the social media contacts of their current employees, and in a above board way, of course,
sure.
but in a way that allows them to kind of share what's going on there, right? Because I mean, it's exciting to let people know, hey, this is what we're doing at our job, and we're about to go do this, and we're going skiing this week, and we're bringing somebody in that's going to prepare meals for us one day. We get our, a lot of times firms do great things and they just don't tell anybody about it. It's like the best kept secret. And I'm like, why don't you let the world know what you guys are doing?
Well, we're bad at that. We're all introverts and we don't toot our own horns. And we don't,
Right. Head down, get the work done. So,
and we throw these people out there that are, to interview and recruit people basically.
Yeah.
And they have absolutely no skill in how to do that.
Right.
They don't sell anything.
Yeah.
They talk about the company in the third person. I love that. You got an interview, you got a candidate talking with a manager, and the manager keeps referring to the company as they.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to go to work for that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then we've had clients, and just as we've had people who wanted us to extend job offers to candidates. I think that's bizarre too.
Yeah.
I mean, the candidate is going to work for your company. They want to hear from you about why they should work there.
Yeah.
Not from somebody who doesn't work there to make the job offer because you're so busy or introverted. You're showing a lack of interest is what you're showing.
Right.
It's bizarre. I mean, for whatever reason, in spite of the talent shortage we have and the inability to hire people that we have in this industry, we have this problem of being, so unable to actually sell. It's just amazing to me. It really is.
Yeah, and I think people could really benefit from that. Just learning about sales and improving the ability to always be closing. If you can borrow a phrase from one of my favorite movies, Glenn Ross. Yeah, yes. It is a really good one. So
my watch costs more than your car. Exactly. Actually, your watch costs more than mine by far. But put that coffee down.
Exact coffee is for closers. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
Grace, I need two tickets for Hong Kong. I love that Jack Lemmon talking to his fake secretary.
He was really funny. So yeah, he was really good in that.
It's pathetic though.
It is. It is.
It was sad. We don't have to sell like that here in the AE business, thankfully.
Yeah.
We're all these companies are doing good things and they're helping out the world and making it a better place and giving us clean air and water and good places to work and live. And so, better transportation systems. These companies are doing good stuff. It should be easy to sell.
Yeah. You would think. Yeah. But it's just not their first inclination for a lot of people. So,
it's not.
But hey, that's what we're here for, to try to help people out with that. And certainly, here at Zweig, we're always available to listen over, anybody's challenges that they have, especially from a talent acquisition standpoint. It's one of the reasons why we created Hiring and Keeping Great Talent. And trying to help people really focus on the things that are really important, and as I like to say, major in the minors, because it's those little things that will get you over the hump in the long run. So
you understand all that.
Yeah, if you do it really well, then you'll have some success. So Man, I that's some great information. So I guess we'll go ahead and end with just this thought that AEC Workforce is coming soon. I think it will. If we even get remotely close to some of the success that you experienced in the past when you originally had gotten it on board, especially with the technology that's out there nowadays, I think everyone is going to want to be a part of what we're doing with AEC Workforce. And, there's new information coming out, and you can certainly find out more information about what we're doing at AEC Workforce by visiting AECWorkforce.com. You can also text the word hire faster, all one word, to 66866. And that will allow you to get on our email list, find out more information about AEC Workforce and what is coming. You'll be hearing more about it in the next 30 to 60 days, if not sooner. And there'll be some really interesting announcements surrounded around AEC Workforce and what we're going to do. But our goal will be to make your life a little bit easier on the talent acquisition side of things. If nothing else, we'll try to put the right people in front of you at the right time. And I certainly think that will be a big benefit to everyone listening here that has to hire somebody talented to bring on board for one of their projects or something along those lines. So really want to thank you for just hearing us out about this, and we look forward to your feedback. And as always, we're available. So we want to encourage you today. I've got a free gift for you. I've got a free subscription to Civil Plus Structural Engineer magazine. And to sweeten the pot, we're throwing in several issues of the Zweig letter too. I want you guys to just visit freetzl.zweiggroup.com. Leave us your email address. We'll take care of the rest. Everything will be delivered to you electronically. In addition, if your firm is looking to hire great talent, like I said earlier, please join our mailing list for AEC Workforce. Just text the word hire faster to 66866, and that will get you on the list where you will learn more about this upcoming job board for the design and construction industry. Our goal with this is to make Mark Zweig proud, if nothing else. As a reminder, all Zweig Group media programs like this one are available in both podcast and in most cases video format, free for download on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube, just to name a few places. A link to all of this information, including Mark's contact information, will be in our show notes. And we'd love it if you'd go to iTunes or wherever you tune into this show and give us a 5-star rating and review and share this link with a friend. Remember, sharing is caring. Recently, I've heard from some of you on LinkedIn about the podcast and how much of a benefit it has been to your organization. And we appreciate those messages. Keep them coming because it adds fuel to the fire as we continue to produce this show. I'm Randy Wilburn, and you've been listening to Zweig Group Media, part of Zweig Group. Remember, we exist to make you more successful. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in to this Zweig Letter podcast. We hope that you can apply Mark's no-holds-barred advice to your daily professional life. For a free 6-week subscription to the Zweig Letter, please visit freetzl.zweiggroup.com to gain more wisdom and inspiration, in addition to information about leadership, finance, HR, and marketing your firm. Subscribe today.